What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Justin Gaethje knocks out Dustin Poirier to earn the BMF title. In the main event of UFC 291, Justin Gaethje picked up a spectacular head kick knockout win over Dustin Poirier, reminiscent of Leon Edwards' knockout win over Kamaru Usman in Salt Lake City, Utah. The win was a particularly impressive one for Gaethje, who looked to be getting the better of the exchanges throughout the course of the bout leading up to the finish. With the win, Justin Gaethje now finds himself in possession of the BMF title and in position to make a case for a title shot after Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira have their highly anticipated rematch at UFC 294. At the same time, former two-division champ Conor McGregor also took to social media to give his thoughts on the fight, saying that he would slap Gaethje around. In a follow-up tweet, McGregor then claimed that he's the real BMF, while casting doubt on his fight with Michael Chandler by simply saying, Chandler. The tweet left many wondering whether or not McGregor would wind up skipping over a fight with Chandler in order to take a fight for the BMF title. Of course, Gaethje's main priority is competing for the lightweight title. As he explained in the Octagon following the win, he wants to fight for the title after Makhachev and Oliveira compete in October.
You know what I want to do next. I want to fight for the World Championship. These guys are fighting in October, and I want to prove I'm the best in the world. Win, lose, or draw, max effort is what you're going to get out of me. Luck and chance are a factor, and I'm willing to roll the dice any day.
Should the winner of the fight wind up facing a lengthy layoff due to injury, however, things could get interesting. Gaethje very well could wind up faced with a tough decision to either sit and wait for a fight with the winner or take a fight to remain active if he doesn't want to stay on the sideline for an extended period of time. As fans have continued to point out, with the score between Gaethje and Poirier at 1-1, it seems as though the two men could be destined for a trilogy fight somewhere down the line as well. With the UFC 294 clash between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev rapidly approaching in October, only time will tell what the future holds for the highlight. Alex Pereira makes successful light heavyweight debut. In the co-main event of UFC 291, former UFC middleweight champion Alex Pereira made his successful light heavyweight debut as he defeated former champion Jan Blachowicz via decision. The fight was a back-and-forth affair, with the MMA community on verdict scoring the first round for Blachowicz and the last two rounds in favor of Pereira. After capturing gold in two divisions under the Glory Kickboxing banner, Pereira now finds himself in position to repeat history with a potential fight for the vacant title against Yuri Prochazka on the horizon. With the belt currently sitting vacant, Pereira seems poised to once again compete for UFC gold despite just being 10 fights into his professional career. Although his immediate future seems to be at 205 pounds, Pereira also alluded to making the cut back down to 185 pounds in the future during his post-fight Octagon interview. Right now, I'm focused on this division. I want to be champion of this division, and then I have some business to solve. With Pereira and Adesanya currently sitting at 1-1 inside the Octagon, it's clear that Poatan's plan is to win the light heavyweight belt before settling the score with his longtime rival at 185 pounds. As we look ahead at a potential fight between Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira, how do you see the bout between the two playing out should the two wind up scrapping for the vacant light heavyweight title? Drop your predictions in the comment section below. UFC reportedly doesn't pay Stephen Thompson show money after fight cancellation. During UFC 291 fight week, thrilling welterweight contender Michel Pereira missed weight by nearly 4 pounds for his main card clash with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. After going through the negotiations with the UFC, Thompson made the decision to pull out of the fight, partly due to the fact that when he fought Darren Till several years back, after Till missed weight, he lost a controversial decision. On Saturday, longtime MMA reporter Mike Bond tweeted that Wonderboy Thompson reportedly did not get his show money for the fight. The move didn't go over well with the MMA community, who largely threw their support behind Thompson while criticizing the UFC for not paying him half his purse despite making weight. In a social media post prior to the report about his show money, the popular welterweight stated that he would be looking to fight soon. However, there's since been no word as to when the UFC will look to book him a fight or who he will be booked against. UFC President Dana White, who would ordinarily be fielding questions from media members after the event, is currently in Europe vacationing, leaving the MMA community wondering just what the future may hold for Thompson. Who do you want to see him fight next? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Bobby Green hands Tony Ferguson 6th straight loss. While fans held out hope throughout fight week that Tony Ferguson would be able to put an end to his 5-fight skid, things didn't go El Cucuy's way when he stepped into the octagon against Bobby Green. Although Ferguson dropped the veteran early in the fight, Bobby Green began to build momentum towards the end of the first round. Late in the fight, Green secured a head and arm choke that forced the former interim champ to tap out just before the final bell. adding to Ferguson's ongoing skid. After the fight, Green spoke to Joe Rogan inside the octagon. However, Ferguson left and went backstage. While many suspected that he would leave his gloves in the center of the octagon and retire, it doesn't appear as though things are headed in that direction right now. For Bobby Green, this victory returns him to the win column after a no contest against Jared Gordon stemming from a clash of heads back in April, with Green keeping a notoriously busy schedule, expecting to see him back in the octagon early next year. On the flip side, only time will tell what the future holds for Tony Ferguson. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Derrick Lewis potentially headed to free agency after snapping losing streak. With the UFC 291 main card fight between Stephen Thompson and Michel Pereira was cancelled, Knockout King Derrick Lewis's fight with Marcos Rogerio de Lima was promoted to the pay-per-view portion of the event. After telling media members earlier in the week that he still has it despite his recent 3-fight skid, Lewis scored a 30-second flying knee TKO victory over de Lima. During his post-fight octagon interview with Joe Rogan, Lewis informed fans that he would be hitting free agency after fighting out his contract. As he explained, his hope is that the UFC offers him a big contract. At the same time, however, with the PFL and Bellator MMA rumored to be merging in August, many are wondering whether or not Lewis could wind up making the jump and rematching Francis Ngannou for the Predators' first fight under the PFL banner. With Lewis's recent struggles behind him and plenty of star power to his name, it's clear that wherever the Black Beast goes to fight, fans will follow him. The question is, where he will fight, and who will he fight against? Play Matchmaker and give your thoughts in the comment section down below. And now for our breaking news story of the day. We have Conor McGregor going off on Justin Gaethje. Conor took to Twitter this morning, tweeting multiple times to Gaethje. He said, "I KO him one shot, guarantee it," followed by a picture of Justin and Dustin backstage embracing each other, to which he replied, "Let's hang out in the sauna, ha ha ha," and he finished it off by calling Justin shit in the drawers. Do you want to see Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje? Who do you think would win? Let us know in the comments below. Belal Muhammad gives prediction for Adesanya versus Strickland. Although a fight between middleweight champion Israel Adesanya and number 6 ranked contender Sean Strickland still has yet to be finalized for UFC 293 in September, despite the fact that the card remains without a main event, the bout has earned plenty of attention from the MMA community. During a recent interview with Helen Yee, top-ranked welterweight contender Belal Muhammad gave his prediction for the fight, pointing to Strickland's recent win over Abus Magomedov as evidence of why the last stylebender will defeat Strickland. As he explained, while Magomedov gassed out, Adesanya has the cardio and experience to keep up the pace over 5 rounds if need be.
But I think Izzy's just going to outclass him. Izzy's striking is going to be way better than him. It's going to be kind of like the Pereira fight. I think what Abus did to Strickland the first round, I think Izzy could keep that pace up for 5 rounds and do the same exact thing.
As Strickland stated on Twitter recently, the UFC has until Monday to book him for a fight with Adesanya in September. If the promotion does not finalize a fight before then, he's content to go on the trips he has planned. With Alexander Volkanovski sidelined following arm surgery, Robert Whittaker, fresh off a title eliminator loss, and Israel Adesanya, potentially without an opponent, fans are wondering just what the UFC has planned for the main event bout. Considering the event is just 6 weeks away, only time will tell what the promotion has up its sleeve. Stay tuned for updates as they become available.